There's good news about the use of off-highway vehicles unless you're currently enjoying illegally riding your OHV. Here's Supervisor Roy Wilson, Legislative Assistant Linda Gregory.
We're at the top of Bennett Road, at the south end of Bennett Road in the community of Desert Edge. This seems to be where a lot of families come and park their trailers to take their off-road vehicles back here into the hills. Unfortunately, all of this land is either privately owned or owned by the Bureau of Land Management or other agencies, and none of it is suitable for off-highway vehicle riding. Supervisor Wilson understands the need for off-highway vehicle recreation in the area, and the county has been working for a couple of years towards building an OHV park in the area. Until that happens, the trail riding in this area is very, very limited, and we would encourage you to go to the Bureau of Land Management website or www.rivco4.org to get a map of what areas actually are legal for riding on trails.
One Valley resident who is grateful for the efforts of the Coachella Valley Association of Governments OHV Task Force is Sky Valley Community Council member Julie Casserly.
Julie, there's been some off-highway vehicle activity in the hills around Sky Valley recently that the Sheriff's Department's been trying to curtail. Can you tell me what's been happening?
Well, I can tell you that in the 23 years I've lived out here, it's really increased over the past, I'd say, 5 to 6 years. And with the off-highway vehicle task force out here for the last couple years, it's gotten a lot less, a lot better, quieter. We're not having any more incidents of horses and off-highway vehicles meeting up tragically. And just even by my house, it's so much better. You can sit outside. There's no horrible dust coming by. And I even sent a letter to the Desert Sun saying how thankful I was about the off-highway vehicle task force. So I really appreciate their efforts.
What kinds of disturbances had been happening up by your house?
Well, there are some people that will drive by slowly, but for the most part, they tear up and down the roads, they dust out our houses. The sound is atrocious if you're out there. And really, we had one girl injured off her horse. Even if they're trying to be conscientious when they're riding, if you are coming around a wash at 50 miles an hour and there's riders and nowhere to go, you're going to have a bad meeting. It's not going to go well. So it's been very dangerous. I've skipped riding a lot of the trails that I've ridden for years because of that activity. So it's much better lately.
One of those that Linda caught up to on her field trip with the OHV task force was Sergeant Jeff Bomponciero.
Jeff, you're with the Riverside County Sheriff's Department OHV enforcement team, is that correct?
Yes, I'm a sergeant with the Sheriff's Department out of the Palm Desert Station.
And what is the operation here today?
The operation here today is to enforce the off-road regulations in the Sky Valley area. What we like to do is come out here and pretty much educate the population or the public on the rules regarding off-road vehicle use.
What are some of those rules? Mostly safety issues, or?
Well, out here in this area, the main rule is there's no riding at all. There's certain areas designated in the county that are for riding. Those are out near the Drop 31 area by North Shore. So out here, there's no riding at all. If we see people riding out here, they can be cited for it. Typically, we try to educate them and just let them know that they're not allowed to ride.
Great. What kind of activity have you seen out here in the past?
Out here in the past, we've had stolen quads that we've stopped. There's a lot of people that come out here and do shooting practice. Sometimes we take guns if they're not registered or if the person's not allowed to have the gun.
So you're not just finding OHV activity in the hills, you're finding all sorts of things.
That's correct. We also find stolen vehicles out here occasionally. I don't know about today, it's kind of windy, but usually we have the airplane up from Palm Springs and they kind of vector us in on where these locations are, and we'd ride over to them, see if the vehicle's recoverable or not. Back in early December, we had some billboards posted throughout the area regarding the off-road vehicle activity. Since that time, in this area here, there's been a decline. I haven't really been to the other areas myself, but I think as a whole, it's the activity's gone down. The public's being more educated on what's going on and where they're allowed to ride. So I think they're trying to stick to where they can go.